Hello, beautiful Libra. Welcome to your June 2017 Taroscope reading, Celtic Cross. Now, I have to tell you, Libra, I did your reading. I recorded everything. I shuffled the cards. It was one of the most amazing readings I've ever done. And then, at the end, I realized it hadn't recorded. It just took a picture instead. But the reading is so amazing. I still have it on the table. So, I'm just going to show you the reading, interpret it, even though it's already down and lying face up, okay? Because this reading, oh, I'm so mad, Libra. I'm so mad because it was amazing. It was an amazing reading. Like, the messages were flashing in to me, and I was like so excited. It was like half an hour or 40 minutes. It was just an amazing reading, and then it wasn't recorded. Okay, so you just have to trust me on this one, Libra. But the message that came through was like so amazing and very, very hard at the same time. So I'm going to point the camera down and I'm going to interpret each card for you again. And just imagine that I've shuffled and laid them out like I usually do, okay? So, because I just have to explain this reading to you because it's just really, really incredible. Okay, so Libra, what you come into June with, the energy, is this. Okay, the Death card, second position, the Lovers card. All right, so this is very significant. These two cards are major arcana. These are cards that are associated with the strongest emotions. So right away, when these two cards came up, I was like, wow, you know, this month is going to be really significant for you, Libra. So this means you're going into the month needing to end something, because the Death card means endings, finito, finished, it's done. And it comes up to tell you that it's time for an ending. It's time for you to end what you need to end. And because this came up on top, crossing this card, the Lovers talks about a very deep karmic relationship. All right, this is your soulmate, or because I believe we come onto this earth from our soul's perspective to live and experience and learn in this lifetime. When we come down with a group of our soulmates, with a group of our soul family in different relationships each time we come down. So this is about a person who is part of your soul family. Perhaps your soulmate as partner, perhaps a very significant, strong soul relationship, can be mother, father, child, anyone in your family, a teacher, someone you just feel very, very closely aligned with. Okay, so it's talking about in June, this relationship perhaps ending. Perhaps it's time to break the bond. Or an aspect of a relationship ending, an aspect that's very unhealthy, that has to end, like something in this relationship that is wrong, that has to end, okay? That's what comes up here. Now, the Moon reversed in the third position of underlying forces. It means that you have been going a little bit crazy over all this. This is confusion, this is emotional turmoil, this is a feeling of, I don't know what's going on, like this lunar type of craziness. So that card comes up in the third position. So you've been feeling like this a little bit, obviously, because whatever's going on here with that deep karmic bond of yours, it's not easy to deal with. And the past. This is the past, which is the Emperor. So, Libra, this other person, your soulmate, your soul family person, has been showing a little bit of too much authority, perhaps oppressing a little bit, or perhaps being a very loving, stern, but kind father figure. But when this comes up, especially when we're talking about relationships, I mean, it doesn't look like a very equal relationship. If someone is the Emperor and you're just a regular person, it means that he's a little overwhelming, overpowering. All right, so he or she, of course. I say he because of the person in the card, but this can apply to male or female, obviously, right? So the recent past, you feeling a little bit overpowered by this person. Now, what I really love about you this month is your positive attitude. This is your outlook. This is your forecast. This is what you're expecting. So you are expecting to stay stable and grounded and solid and independent. Okay, this is what you expect. Okay, now the next card I'm going to interpret is interesting because that's what struck me when I was ranting and raving the first time when I did this reading. I'm still mad. Okay, but all right. Look at this. This is your fears, Libra. Your expectations and your fears. And look how similar these two cards are. You're expecting to be independent, grounded, but on the other hand, you're fearing to be like that because this is, in this case, I see it as a very similar card. So why are you fearing this? Are you fearing to, in the end up alone, perhaps? Because in this picture, she is by herself. I mean, this person, mostly when I see her, mostly, not always, is a person who is independent and perhaps not in a relationship. Doesn't have to be like that necessarily, right? But the Queen of Pentacles can be both. She can be together or in a relationship. But since your fears, you know, your law of repulsion is you don't want this. What is it about the situation that you don't want? You don't want to be solid and stable. You don't want to be, I would say, like chained and bound down. You don't want to be in too much of an obligation. Something like that is going on, all right? And to do with this relationship because, you know, this card, these cards here, the Lovers, that's a very strong karmic card. That really talks about deep relationships. So these cards already are giving an incredible significance to this whole reading. Now, I didn't look at this card because I'll come back to that a little bit later. Now, another interesting one is your hopes. Your hopes. Your hopes and dreams. And this shows another kind of complexity in your whole thoughts about this relationship. Because romance, you know, moving forward at a steady pace, you know, the knight in shining armor coming to you, is that what you don't want? Why is that? Why is that? Why don't you want this? Why are you afraid of this? This is very strange, right? But it's like maybe it's the moon that's kind of confusing your feelings. What is it that I want? What is it that I don't want? Because when we're talking about really deep bonds, you know, they're very significant. They go beyond this lifetime. You know, there's people in our lives where we absolutely know that we have such a deep connection. It's meaningful. And no matter what kind of person they are, that connection is strong, and it's very hard for us to disengage from that connection. So the Death card and the Lovers card there, like perhaps having to break a bond is like, it's horrible. It's really, really hard. It's very hard. And of course that leaves us confused. Now, outside influences, your soul partner here is feeling it too, and it looks like he's gonna go a little bit crazy. Okay, the King of Wands reversed is like that typical fiery, could be a fire sign, but I don't believe in the cards and signs because these are qualities that we all have within us. Okay, so I don't interpret the cards as necessarily being, you know, a fire sign. When this comes up, I don't necessarily think it's a Leo or an Aries or a Sagittarius. No, it's someone who has those qualities of fire, someone who's very active, explosive, who's very sure of themselves, who has a little bit of an ego, you know, for example. So that quality turned around. That's how your soulmate there, the partner, the person we're talking about, is going to act. They're going to go crazy. They're going to like explode. They're going to try to overpower you a little bit. It's not going to be easy, okay? So So all this that's going on with your relationship, let's take a look. Near future, okay, near future. This Libra is a karmic card in this case. Upright, it's good karma. It's things from the past. Those deep bonds, those people that are important to us, you know, coming to us and us being aware of them. This is a bit of a reminiscent but positive card, gentle card. When it's turned around, it means that the karma or the soul contracts are catching up with you. Look at this row. Look at this row here. That person, that dominant person being a little bossy, like overwhelming, needing to end your relationship or something within the relationship, and, you know, difficult aspects of this relationship coming up very soon in June, right? What soul contracts did you make? Do you understand the concept of soul contracts? Before you come down here in this lifetime with your soul family, I believe that we create certain promises, contracts, like saying, okay, we're going to go down there on earth. Okay, we're going to be together and we're going to have certain things that we have to learn. Okay, you're going to teach me this, I'm going to teach you this. And sometimes those contracts can be a little harsh. It can be perhaps that we say, we want to learn pain. What's it like to have more pain? And so when we come to this point in June, something that you decided upon, or something that came up in your karma that you decided upon beforehand is going to happen, is going to come around. Your soul contract, a hard part of your soul contract with your partner, is going to manifest in June, all right? But it doesn't have to be really hard, and that's where the free will comes in. If something in your relationship happens, if something kind of comes to the surface, if those deeper things that you need to learn together are coming to the surface, it's up to you at how to handle it, how quickly you can learn, if it's going to be a disaster or not, if it's going to break you up or not. If you think you can mend that, learn together, overcome that lesson together or not, it's up to you. But here's the end result, which we have. Libra. 10 of Swords upright. Okay? Do I have to explain it? This is heartache. The dark night of the soul coming upon you in this situation. But, okay, before you freak out, hey, remember, this is the main timeline flow, okay? This is the forecasting of where you're most likely to go, but it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen as strongly, or if you decide, nope, it's not my time, I don't want this, I really don't want this, then I think you can change it. And that's why I drew 3 clarification cards to see how you can change this outcome if you really, really, really don't want it. If deep in your heart you think that it's not time to break the bond completely, break the bond. If perhaps you think, okay, there's an aspect of my relationship which has to end, there's something which is going to come up, I need to change that, I need to really, really learn my lesson to move forward in a new way together with this person without breaking off completely, okay, then this can be changed, or this can be minimized for maybe like an explosive, like a heartache, a difficult thing that can be overcome and that can be averted, all right? And you know, the dark night of the soul, that period in our lifetime where everything is just broken down, falling apart, and you're feeling like this, I think it's also up to you how you deal with it. If you let yourself drop into that absolute depression and stay there for a long time, or if you do your work and move forward through it faster, it depends on you. Okay, now, these are the 3 clarification cards I drew, exactly like this, because I wanted to know, can you work around this? Is there a different timeline that you can decide to go on? Can you decide? And my answer was yes. Okay, it doesn't have to be like this. or it can be only a tiny little part and you can move forward. And now look what I got here. The 10 of Cups upright. And it means that this can turn into this. If you overcome this, okay, if you overcome that bound, those negative, you know, cords, binds, the addictive behavior, the drama, the oppression, the needing to control, if you overcome all of these aspects in this relationship, look at this. Beautiful relationship, angel on top. This has turned into a bad relationship with all the bad aspects coming out. You know how the most beautiful, intense relationship can turn into this. Okay, so if you want the relationship to be beautiful, you have to overcome these aspects. And how? The cards even tell you how. With this. With this. Unconditional love. You have to discover that high vibrational, that unconditional wellspring of love within you that transcends everything. I don't mean just, you know, that addictive kind of, oh, I love you. I mean like love. You have to do your work. You have to open your heart. Look at this. This is the white dove coming from above. This is a symbol of spirituality. So it's more than that, you know, lovey-dovey kind of love. It's that love that we feel when we open our hearts, when we meditate. It's the love I feel for all of you. It's the love that I feel for humanity. It's that unconditional, open-hearted, transcendent kind of love that when we meditate, when we try to grow spiritually, that we use to open ourselves and to connect with humanity. So you have to do your spiritual work. You have to connect to unconditional love to overcome this problem and to be able to do the happy ever after. Okay, and that's work. That's a lot of work, Libra. But I mean, if you're already here listening to this, it means that you're already open and interested in this kind of stuff, right? So I think you can do it if you choose to. If you choose to. But Libra, you have to really choose wisely. Choose wisely. You know, when we have this connection and we think that connection is going to break, it's like the hardest thing in the world. Libra, I've been through the dark night of the soul. Okay? I've been through all of this exactly. I've been through this. And I was there because I decided it needed to end. Because there was so much of this going on that it couldn't be remedied. It couldn't be repaired. I tried. I tried for about 2 years, but it wasn't possible. The other person wasn't at that level where there was just no cure. I just couldn't do it. And I know the relationship was so deep and so profound, but so toxic for me in the end. It was terrible. And I decided to end it. And I was here for a while, quite a while, but according to the severity of the situation, I think I went over and forward pretty fast. So it didn't end like this for me with that same person, all right? But I did develop this. And now, for me, for example, things are better. I have found a person who I'm even more connected with. Okay, I found my soulmate, which is on a completely different level from that other one from before. Okay, I'm just giving you some examples. So Libra, this is a really, really profound reading. Wow, this is like, I hope it makes sense to you, especially this part. I hope it makes sense. I feel that this is a very valid message for you. Very, very valid. This is important, this reading, okay? And think about this. Think about who that person is that you have such a deep connection with. Meditate on it. Think about what you're here to learn from them, with them. Okay? Try to sense if you have to break it off with them or not. Try to sense if both of you have gone or are going through this stage of being a lot of muck in there, but your connection, your love, your needing to be together is so strong that you can heal that and you can move forward. You can go onto a new level of happiness with them and reach this. It's up to you, Libra. It really is. I can't tell you what to do. The cards bring up energies, they bring advice. But in the end, you have to make that decision. So I hope you decide wisely this month, Libra. And I send you so much love and a lot of strength. Let me know if this made sense or not. Let me know. I want to know. Because this has been a super profound reading. So I want to know if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense yet, it should. It should. I mean, this person, you don't realize that you have that kind of karmic connection with them overnight. You don't realize that overnight. This is a person who's already in your life. I'm sure of that. As the month of June progresses, let me know what decision you made, what happened. Okay, I'd love to know. Thank you, Libra. I'm Natasha, your Empress of Wands. If you want to know more specific things, I have opened my private readings finally. I've got all kinds of readings, short ones, long ones, live ones, recorded ones, for all your needs. So you can write me an email, or you can even book it directly through my scheduling system there that I've just configured. So I hope you have a relatively peaceful June, and that this will be minimized as much as possible for you, or perhaps even eliminated. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.